The moons of Saturn have a direct influence on Saturn's rings. A natural tendency of ring material is to spread both toward and away from the planet. But the moons, in a complex interplay of gravitational forces, shape the rings and define their structure. Is the innermost of the larger Saturn moons, with an enormous crater, 80 miles wide and 6 miles deep. Shows an icy face to the cameras. Bright streaks are probably fresh ice ejected from beneath its crust. A closer photograph reveals that it may be a recently active moon with internal heat that melted the surface. The outermost of the larger moons. The dark side contrasts sharply with the lighter trailing hemisphere, an oddity for which there is no present explanation. And Hyperion, an apparent fragment from the shattering of a larger moon, tumbling erratically in its orbit. The most intriguing of Saturn's moons is Titan, larger than the planet Mercury. It is the only moon known to have an atmosphere. Nitrogen and methane gases shroud Titan with dense clouds which our cameras cannot penetrate. The chemistry of this atmosphere is unlike that of any other. If we could descend to the surface of Titan, we might see ice mountains softly eroded by a persistent rain of complex chemicals, and a deep chemical ocean, a strange parody of the oceans of Earth. Titan's atmosphere, like the ancient atmosphere of Earth, contains pre-life chemicals, but is too cold for life to evolve.
Hi everyone, hope you're doing great. Just a click on the video. Yeah, it's a video that I didn't really want to have to make, but I think it's important that I make it, just to kind of like clarify what happened to me the other night on Rocky, where I got extracted by mountain rescue. There's like fire brigade, police, mountain rescue, helicopter. Yeah, it's quite the drama. I just want to start by saying how absolutely incredibly humbled I am by the rescue and the response from the guys that gave up their Friday night to come and rescue me off the hill. The mountain rescue, the ambulance crew, the police, the fire brigade, the local fire brigade. I basically had an incident on the side of Rocky where I misjudged the weather conditions and I ended up making a catastrophic error. I decided that I wanted to get out of the air as soon as I could, so I decided to slope land, and I came down really heavily on the squee. It was like a boulder field basically. I've got the video and I've just had a quick look at it, and it's not something that I enjoy looking at, but I think it's important that I kind of explain what went on. Paragliding is extremely dangerous sport, and it can extinguish your dreams in an instant if you don't take it at the utmost seriousness. And yes, I was complacent on that night. A combination of things, splitting up with Sabrina, feeling like I needed to kind of just fly just to get it out of my system, and not waiting until the conditions were just right, which I usually do. Also, my new glider has kind of inspired me to kind of like fly in like slightly stronger conditions, which maybe contributed a little bit to the accident. Well, I've also got some footage from a couple of flights at Bridgend, and just a little bit of beautiful scenery, some cloud inversions this morning with the drone. But let's get the horrible bit out of the way first. Then I'll put the nice bit at the end. Do you fancy coming? But now this intro's like 2 minutes. Go on then! Okay, so here's the crash. So just about to launch. So I go to launch and instantly I'm kind of like pulled over to one side a little bit. I get into the air and just get myself into the harness, and instantly the glider's pitching around, not behaving right. I'm heading to like the little bowl that's just down there. Sort of turn the glider towards face the valley, and this is where yeah, you can't really see what the glider's doing, but it's pitching and the air's really bad, and I get really scared. So instead of just heading out into the valley and dealing with it, I decide to slope land, which is a terrible mistake. Here we go. Yes. I just want to say that the mountain rescue do such an amazing job. Also, a big thank you to the ambulance service that picked me up.